evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Harrington. Tonight on the Now Bakersfield, the Kern County Fair held its annual food drive but did not expect the major gift they received from an anonymous donor. More on that donation and how many people in need it could feed. And the city of Tehachapi getting recognized for their efforts on keeping the city bike friendly. The details on the special award they received. That's all ahead on the Now Bakersfield. Chris?
Let's get to our first check of the lineup here on the Now. And like it or not, cold and flu season, it is on the way. We have a warning before you ask your doctor for an antibiotic to get better. Also, this man here, he stopped an active shooter. I want you to listen to what happened.
When I got here and started yelling at him, he turned to face me. And so when he faced me is when I was trying to get him to put it down and then waved my arm at him. And that's when he raised up to fire at me.
Yeah, he wants everyone to hear his story, and it comes with a message about gun rights in America. And we're talking about something today called unretirement. You might have guessed it. It's when people just get bored. They want to go back to work. Maybe you're like this, maybe a parent. So we have some things that could help.
More than 20,000 people in Kern County who are in need of food are receiving support tonight, all thanks to an anonymous donor at the Kern County Fair. The Now's Tori Cooper takes a look at that contribution and how it's impacting families as we head into the holiday months. Tori?
Jessica, since 2013, an anonymous person who goes by buyer number 9 has made a generous offer at the Kern County Fair auction, purchasing livestock showcased by Future Farmers of America students at the fair. And this year, that person is using their purchase to give back to more than 60 food banks in Kern County to help address food insecurity.
Every year, animals like this are auctioned off at the Kern County Fair. Many are animals raised by students from the Future Farmers of America organization in Kern County that provides students with first-hand agricultural education and skills.
Or I raised a pig, like literally in my backyard. And it's such an interesting experience, but not only that, you get such a bond with the animals, which is really cool. And then one of the biggest things, one of the biggest benefits is what you learn here and the skills that you learn, like budgeting and marketing and money management and time management. You can apply that to any industry and any career you want to do.
And the meat that the FFA students raised this year will now feed thousands of people locally from the 68 food banks in Kern County, thanks to the Community Action Partnership of Kern, the Kern County Fair, and of course, anonymous buyer number 9.
Our angel buyer number 9, and they procure a large portion of the junior livestock that are shown at the fair, and they process and deliver the meat from those animals to us.
A win-win situation where students receive profits from the auction sale of their animals at the fair, and those in need get an extra free meal. Even though the Community Action Partnership conducts various food drives over the course of the year to keep food banks stocked, according to the CAPK officials and a University of California study of Kern County's food system, of the roughly 850,000 people that lived in Kern County in 2014, 30.4% of the low-income individuals reported experiencing food insecurity, and that number hasn't changed much. Therefore, CAPK has been on a mission to feed more people in need for the last 7 years. And James Berger of CAPK says buyer number 9 is helping combat the issue with their yearly donation.
That buyer has purchased and delivered just under 400,000 pounds of processed meat to our food bank.
Buyer number 9 contributes 84 to 87,000 pounds of various meats, including beef, pork, lamb, and goat, generated from the Kern County Fair each year. Fair organizers in CAPK are not sure how much all of the meat sold this year is worth or how many animals were exactly sold, but they do know how many mouths it will help feed.
We estimate, based on the size of the meat packets that are produced, about 2 to 5 pounds apiece, that about 24,000 people will be able to get some meat throughout the next few months.
And the difference it will make in the community this year.
Especially during the holidays and Christmas and Thanksgiving, New Year's, and be able to bring that into their diet and into their family.
Now, CAPK helps feed 100,000 people each year, and buyer number 9 is ensuring a portion of those people don't miss a meal either. It's still unknown at this time who buyer number 9 is, but organizers expect to see him or her again next year, and FFA students will be showcasing livestock next year as well at the Kern County Fair. For the Now Bakersfield, I'm Tori Cooper, 23 ABC.
All right, Tori, thanks. Well, the city of Tehachapi was honored with an engineering award from the American Society of Civil Engineers for the Tehachapi Boulevard Bike Path Project. According to city officials, they received the award in the category of Outstanding Bikeways and Trailways. Development Services Director Jay Schlosser said the city is honored to receive the award. The bike path costs $1.1 million and was completed in approximately 8 months. Coffee with a Cop has been making its rounds here in Kern County, and tomorrow multiple agencies will be celebrating National Coffee with a Cop Day. The Bakersfield Police Department will be holding 3 events tomorrow from 8 to 10 a.m. They'll be at the McDonald's at 1812 Union Avenue for Coffee with a Cop. Then from 10:30 to 12:30, they'll be at Sugar Twist on Brimhall Road. Then from 1 to 3 p.m., they'll be at the Starbucks at 6451 Ming Avenue. The Tehachapi Police Department will be out from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. They will be at the Starbucks inside Albertsons on Tucker Road. McFarland PD will also be holding Coffee with a Cop at the McDonald's on West Sherwood Avenue. They will be out at 6 p.m. Chris?
Telehealth isn't a new concept, but obviously a convenient one if you're sick and you can't get to the doctor. The Now's Andy Taylor is looking into whether doctors are overprescribing prescription medication to patients over the phone and when you actually need it.
Cold and flu season is around the corner, and you know doctors' offices and telemedicine call lines will be busy. Well, a new study out shows that more patients are being prescribed antibiotics through telemedicine than in person.
In a new study out by Annals of Internal Medicine, they looked at 13,000 telemedicine calls and found that 67% of them resulted in a patient being prescribed an antibiotic to treat their symptoms. The benefits of telemedicine is convenience. You can have a doctor diagnose you and prescribe you medication over video chat, smartphone app, email, or even text. But this latest study shows some potential downfalls. These new findings suggest telemedicine might not be helping the efforts to curb antibiotics overuse. The calls that ended with a prescription for antibiotics averaged just over 6.5 minutes, where the calls where no medication was prescribed lasted about 8 minutes long, which showed it takes longer for a doctor to explain why some patients don't need medication. Obviously, no one wants to be prescribed medication that might not be necessary, so we asked Heather Young, a physician at Denver Health, when should you go in to see a doctor if you're feeling ill?
Difficulty breathing, having a cough, sore throat, runny nose, and even low-grade fevers. And I don't think that people need to seek care generally in the first couple of days that they might have those symptoms, particularly if the symptoms seem mild. But if it's something that's not going away, or they have difficulty breathing, or they have an underlying immune condition, then they probably should come in and seek care.
Telemedicine may be helpful, but if a prescription is prescribed too quick over the phone or in person, don't be afraid to speak up. For the Now, I'm Annie Taylor.
All right, Andy, thank you. And I want you to hear this next story that's coming up in our lineup because this man here stopped an active shooter. Listen to what happened.
When I got here and started yelling at him, he turned to face me. And so when he faced me is when I was trying to get him to put it down. And then waved my arm at him, and that's when he raised up to fire at me.
Yeah, he wants everyone to hear his story, and it comes with a message about gun rights in America. You're watching The Now. Well, this man you see here has a story that he wants everybody to hear because he stopped an active shooter. And he says his story proves why Americans need to stay armed and protect the Second Amendment. The Now's Nicole Val met up with him in Oklahoma City, and he showed us exactly how it all went down.
I'm going to turn left to get on the highway. I noticed a bunch of people running from the restaurant. I told my wife, I was like, something's wrong, that doesn't look right.
What was supposed to be a Memorial Weekend getaway for Brian Whittle took him on a detour here to Louie's Bar and Grill in Oklahoma City, a detour that turned deadly.
When I pulled in the parking lot right here, I stopped right here, and I got out, and there was an individual here who was telling me that the people were shot.
Police say a mentally ill man wearing ear and eye protection opened fire in the crowded eatery. Whittle, with his 19 years military experience and 7 deployments under his belt, grabbed his loaded pistol from his truck.
When I got here and started yelling at him, he turned to face me. And so when he faced me is when I was trying to get him to put it down, and then waved my arm at him, and that's when he raised up to fire at me.
2 shots swirled in his direction. He knew he had to stop the threat.
When I got about right here, I saw him standing there, and as soon as I saw him, I just kept firing. Just pop, 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 pop.
A second armed civilian ran to help Whittle. The gunman was dead.
In this situation, I didn't have really time to think. I just reacted.
Under the self-defense statute, he was cleared of all criminal charges. The story earning him the title of Good Guy with a Gun, a story he wants others to hear.
I don't think that there should be any roadblocks that impede your Second Amendment.
He says no one should tamper with the rights of an American citizen or take away anyone's ability to defend and protect.
You'll end up in a situation similar to this and not be able to do anything but hide and cower behind a car. It's just like any other tool. If you have the right tool, you can fix anything. So I just happen to have the right tool for the right problem.
For the Now, I'm Nicole Vowell reporting.
All right, Nicole, thank you. Let's check out some stories making some news in the Now news feed. We often hear about just how bad artificial sweeteners are. Well, a new study in the journal Molecules says they're so bad for you that they have a toxic effect on digestive gut microbes. The study looking at 10 sports supplements and 6 artificial sweeteners, all of them already approved by the FDA. Here's an important recall. You want to make sure your children do not get their hands on pain medication called Uber Numb. It can be poisonous if swallowed, and the packaging, it's not childproof yet. Well, we do see a lot of grocery stores right now looking into different ways to get you your food, and now Kroger and Walgreens are teaming up because you can order your Kroger groceries online, then pick them up at Walgreens. Right now, this is only just being tested, 13 stores at the moment. We do have a reality check about becoming a homeowner. Costs on average $40,000 to buy and move into a house. Housing website Zillow came up with that, and when you factor in the down payment, closing costs, and moving expenses. But there's also the things that you don't think about that start to add up. Think about changing the locks to the house, having the yard cleaned up, or adding things like TV mounts and fans.
All good things to think about. Well, with Halloween holiday creeping closer and closer, it's time to stock the candy bowl. And what does your ghoul or goblin hope will land in their bag? CandyStore.com took it upon themselves to collect 11 years of Halloween sales data for every state. Now, the site says the most popular Halloween candy in our state is Skittles. M&M's came in second, and assorted saltwater taffy came in third. As for the top candy overall, Skittles, M&M's, Snickers, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. The Condors are coming of age this year. The organization celebrating the start of its 21st season under first-year head coach Jay Woodcroft. And what a party already. The guys winning their 2 preseason contests over Stockton. This Friday, it counts. The Heat returns to Rabobank Arena with San Jose sliding in on Saturday night. This year's squad has a number of returners and several promising rookies. Woodcroft said this team will compete for every spot with no letdowns permitted.
We've told the guys that have been assigned to Bakersfield that we don't expect any dips whatsoever, that we want the effort that was shown in Edmonton brought here, and as we get our group together here, we know that work ethic and attention to detail will be 2 important factors in our success.
As for who will replace the outgoing goalie, Coach Woodcroft says he has 3 solid team members who are battling for that spot. Puck drops Friday at 7 p.m. And we're going to need to probably bundle up as we take a live look in downtown Bakersfield. We can see the sun is setting. If you're outside or have you been outside, you know it's nice and cool out there. Only getting cooler, right, Leah?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow we are talking about a big cool down headed our way. If you missed this sunset, I am so sorry. It was gorgeous. We did hit a high of 89 degrees in Bakersfield today. That's 4 degrees above our seasonal average. So we were nice and warm today, but we are talking about a cool down into tomorrow and better air quality. An AQI of 50 is in store for us. That's in the good range, and our temperatures are cooling on down. We are looking at about a 10-degree cool down for our valley. That brings us to those upper 70s. Bakersfield looking at 78 degrees for tomorrow with scattered showers in store for us, especially in our mountain communities. We're looking at lower to mid 60s for our southern mountains, our Kern River Valley in those lower 70s. Lake Isabella looking at 74 degrees for tomorrow. We're also talking about the chance for thunderstorms for our mountain and our desert communities for tomorrow. Our deserts looking at those mid 70s in store. Ridgecrest 79 degrees for tomorrow. And we're watching this low pressure system. It's going to be working its way over California's coast really through tomorrow. So tomorrow is our main day that we're watching those chances for scattered showers. Highest chances in the afternoon into the evening hours. So we can see tomorrow about 3 p.m. our mountain communities really getting that love. And then it looks to clear out overnight, and by Thursday morning looking nice and clear. So once again, Wednesday really our only chance for those scattered showers. Valley looking like we're not going to be getting too much love. Our highest rain chances for our mountain communities. And as we take a look at our 9-day forecast, we see those rain chances for Wednesday, 78 degrees, and then we clear on out for Thursday. Temperatures staying pretty stagnant throughout the remainder of the week. We are hanging out in those 70s. The Now Bakersfield will be right back.
Well, healthcare is a big monthly expense for families, so news of new, cheaper plans really sounds like music to our ears. But as the Now's Corey Rangel found out, buyer beware, these plans aren't the answer for everyone.
President Trump's new, cheaper healthcare plans are now available starting today and are part of his promise to offer people more affordable choices. But there's a catch.
They should be very, very careful about what are they purchasing, because the benefits will be limited compared to what they may think they need.
For example, the new plans do not have to cover people with pre-existing conditions, maternity care, or prescription drugs. And while the monthly costs might be cheaper, experts at the Bipartisan Policy Center say it could end up costing more in the long run.
They carry with them a high deductible. So in some cases, I think the $80 plan that I saw also carried a $15,000 deductible.
Experts say the plans are best suited for younger, healthier people and are only meant to be short-term. People can now be covered for up to a year and then have to renew. Previously, the short-term coverage only lasted up to 3 months. If you're interested, do some research.
Choice is there, it's available, but compare. Look at the benefits that are being provided under these short-term limited duration plans. Look at the cost, particularly look at the deductible monthly. But then I would compare. Compare and shop, I guess, is the best thing I can say.
For the Now, I'm Corey Rangel.
All right, Corey, thank you. We do talk a lot about college debt because that is crippling families financially. There are some serious missed opportunities when it comes to lowering the cost, and our Annie Taylor here to explain the new tool that's available. Annie?
$24 billion. That's how much Americans are missing out in financial aid every year. Now, this is everything from grants, free money, or lower interest loans. And according to the National College Access Network, only 61% of kids apply. And now the federal student aid applications are mobile, which is super great because you can now fill out applications on your phone or tablet. Just download the My Student Aid app. Convenient, since you'll spend some time answering about 100 questions. And here's what you need to know to improve your chances of getting more financial aid. Know your deadlines. They vary between states and colleges. Also, apply early rather than later, because if you need help, well, you should do that. It's first come, first serve through the Department of Education, and don't underestimate what you might qualify for. So even if you think you make too much money, they look at other factors like how many people are living in your house, child support payments, even how much you do or don't have saved for college.
All right, Annie, thank you. And next in our lineup, we're talking about something called unretirement. It's when people are bored, they want to get back to work. Well, we're looking at some tools that can help you do that. That's when the Now continues. some 333,000 women and men will hear the words this year that you have breast cancer. Over the next month, you'll obviously see a lot of pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And musician Sheryl Crow, she beat breast cancer 10 years ago. And she talked to us about how she still dedicates time to educating women.
Well, I was a healthy person that walked into a doctor's office to get my mammogram, which I was dreading like all women. I was very busy and also felt like there wasn't a chance I would have breast cancer because I had no family history. And I have to say that the learning curve was grand.
Yeah, doctors say women should know their breast density, and that's something that only a mammogram can determine. And knowing that can determine if you're more at risk of developing breast cancer. Well, retirement may not always pan out the way that we planned, and many people are going back to work. Not just because they need the money, because they're bored. Yeah. Well, a survey by Home Instead shows that nearly half of retirees are bored. Nearly a quarter would like to go back to work to keep their minds sharp. Now, so many older people are returning to the workforce that there are websites to help them find a job. Many choose retail, banking, online tutoring, and caregiving. Now, it's not just older workers who are benefiting from returning to work. Experts say they're also boosting the economy as well as Social Security. Well, adding new security at schools can be a big expense. One school says this new $100,000 safety device is well worth the investment. And tomorrow here on The Now, we're checking out how the system works and how it could be the difference in stopping an active shooter.
Well, did you catch this sunset this evening? I'm loving this viewer photo. Look at that baby checking out the sunset. We're talking about a low of 64 degrees here in Bakersfield tonight, and heading into tomorrow, scattered shower chances increase as the afternoon progresses into the evening. Temperatures cooling down nicely.
I like to see those fall temperatures. That's going to do it for us here on The Now Bakersfield. We'll see you back here tonight for 23 ABC News at 11.